Hey everyone. Um, Today we're going to be talking about using formulas. We're jumping back to lesson 3.3. So back 2 lessons ago, I know we've been jumping around a lot, but I think this should be just about the last of our jumping around, and we'll get back in order. Today I think it'll be a pretty simple lesson for you. We're talking about using formulas, something you've done before. To start off the lesson, we're talking about the big three formulas. I got three for you here. Might be a good time to pause, write down these three. Our first one is our area. I know you've done this before. Our area is our length times our width. That's when we're talking about an object. We use the length times width to find the area. The area is all of the area in between the shape. Our second one is our perimeter. Our perimeter is finding the distance around the outside of a rectangle. We got our length and our width again, and basically the perimeter formula is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. And finally, our distance formula, we're going to be using that. This one might be a little bit newer to you. Distance equals rate or speed, another word for rate, times time is going to be your distance. So those are 3 good formulas to get written down. We're going to be using the distance formula right away here, and we'll jump right into it. So they tell us you travel 162 miles in 3 hours. Use the distance formula, d equals r times t, to find your average speed. So they tell us you travel 162 miles. As 162 miles is going to be our distance, our rate, or our time. Well, we know they're asking us to find our average speed, so we know it can't be the speed. We know 3 hours is our time, so it has to be our distance. So I'm going to set it up as 162 equals, we don't know our speed. They're asking us to find it, so that's what we're going to leave as r, times our time is 3 hours. How do we get r by itself? We know how to do this. Right now it's r times 3. To undo that, we divide each side by 3. Simple enough. We have 162 divided by 3 equals r. Let's do some division here. 3 goes into 162, goes into 16. 5 times as 15. Subtract, goes into 12 4 times as 12. R equals 54, and we need our units here. We're talking miles per hour. Miles per hour. See how I did that? Miles is our distance. Hour is our time. Our speed is 54 miles per hour. That's our average speed right there. Oh, I should be using my other marker. This is 2 lessons in a row. I forgot to do that. We got it here now. All right, the next one, they asked us to find the d, r, or t using our formula here. They give us 2 of them, then we got to find the last. This one, they give us our distance and our time. So let's set this up again, just like we did the last. Our distance is 237. We're using our formula up here. Our time, we don't know our rate. Our time is, I should really stop using that x, use a dot instead. 9.75, using a little bit of decimals, a little bit of what we've been working on. How do we get r by itself? Right now it's r times 9.75. To undo that, we're going to divide by 9.75. Those will cancel out. Whatever we do to one side, you know we have to do to the other. Okay, so now we've got 273 divided by 9.75. A little tricky problem here. What we're allowed to do, as you know, is move this decimal place as many times as we would like. So if you want to, this is going to be a little bit of mental math for you. We've got, nope, I don't want to write it like that. If we'd like to, we can divide this, throw this as many times as we want to. I am not going to do that today. So I want you to take a second right now and to think about this one, see if you can solve that on your own. So we're trying to figure out how many times 9.75 can go into 27. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do 9.75 goes into 273. If I'd like to, I can move these decimals over just like this, move it twice, add 2 zeros on. I'm allowed to do that. I can think 975 goes into 2,730. Let's see, that would go in 975 times 3. Let's see if it can make it 3 times. 5, 1, 21, 22, 22, 27, 29. Can't make it 3 times, so can only make it 2 times. What I can make it 2 times is 975 times 2, which I think would be 0, 1, 14, 15, 1, 18, 19, 50. 1950 here. Now we subtract, as you know, carry this, comes to 13, 8, 6, 16, 7, 80. Carry down that 0. Oh, how many times can I make it in there? I'm going to jump a few steps because I don't want it to take too long. This is all mental math at this point. Our answer is going to be R equals 28. If you have questions on how you got to that one, feel free to hop into Wednesday lesson here. Or message me in the morning, email, whatever. But our answer for that one would be 28. Solve that by doing this. Same methods. And we had one more there, but I ran out of room. Grab a new piece of paper here. Our next one we have is D equals 540. R equals that. So we got our distance is 540.75. Our rate, they tell us this time instead of our time. So looking at our formula, we're going to plug that in for rate, 10.5. And time we do not know. How do we get t by itself? Divide each side by 10.5. Right here, we can move over those decimals if we'd like. We could times each side by 10. We got t equals 540.75 divided by 10.5. That will be our solution. We worked through that yesterday. I can set it up here for you quickly here. 10.5. I don't want to spend my time going through this, though, because I want to give you as much time as I can for your own work. If we'd like to, we can move over those decimals. We'll hop those ones over one spot today. Write this as 105. 105 goes into 5,040, 5,407. I'm going to pull up my calculator just so I can make this go quicker. Looks like it can go into that 51 times as 5,355. 51 times, subtract here. Let's see, we got 2. Do that. This is 3. Comes to 10. 52.5. And finally, we know that this is going to be 51.5. We're going to stop there. Don't need to go any further than that. Time is going to be 51.5. If you have questions on how we got there, be a good chance to look back at our last lesson. I know I went off the page there for a little bit. Sorry about that. Good chance to look back at that last lesson, see if you can figure that out with those decimals. If you don't understand this, then you should go back to that or email me. Going on to the back side here, we're doing a little bit more with formulas. It shouldn't take too long. We're substituting into a formula. They tell us you can estimate temperature using cricket chirps. What? Cricket chirps. That's right. They give us a formula here. They have F equals N divided by 4 plus 37. N is the number of chirps. F is degrees Fahrenheit. They tell us to estimate temperature when there is 100 chirps in a minute. So what are we going to do here? We're going to start by plugging in 100 for the number of chirps. I'm going to rewrite my formula. F equals 100 divided by 4 plus 37. All I have to do is simplify this one. 100 divided by 4 is 25, plus 37 is going to be, quick little mental math here, that's going to be 55, 62? Yes, 62. F equals 62. What we did there is they just told us what N was, number of chirps. They said when there's 100 chirps in a minute, plug that in. They give us a couple more here. They say use this formula to find 96 chirps. So what are we going to do? We're going to plug that right in. 96 on top, 4 on bottom, plus 37. 96 divided by 4, I know that one right now is going to be 24, plus 37 equals 61. F equals 61. I guess one more here with 88 chirps. 88 divided by 4 equals, 88 divided by 4 plus 37. That's what equals F. 88 divided by 4, I know that's going to be 22 plus 37 equals 59. F equals 59. I got one more for you to do there on the Edpuzzle using that same strategy, using the same formula. You're just plugging in a number, solving for that. All right, we got one more. Perimeter. Perimeter equals 2 times length plus 2 times width. So what we do here, we have our perimeter. We see our length is 18.5. What are we going to do? We're going to do 2 times that plus 2 times our width, 12.5. A little bit of mental math. 2 times 18.5 is going to be 36, 37 plus 12.5 times 2 is going to be 25 equals 62 again. Look at that. 62 is what our perimeter is. P equals 62. All right, we're going to do the same thing again. We're using our formula. We have our length is 27, so we're going to do 2 times 27.3 plus 2 times 18.6. We got our width down there. That's what our perimeter equals. Solve for that. I can do 27.3 without my decimals right now, times 2, got 6, 4, 1, 5. I had one decimal in here, so I carry one decimal in. This is equal to 54.6 plus 16.8 times 2, 6, carry the 1, 12, 13, carry the 1, 2, 3. I have one decimal point, put that in there. 33.6, those are going to add up together to be 4.6 plus 33.6, 2, 1, 8, 88.2 is going to be our perimeter. I got one more example like that for you on your Edpuzzle that you're going to solve on your own. And that'll wrap up this lesson. A lot of using formulas. You're going to take numbers and plug them in. That distance formula, look back on these if you're confused. Be sure to send me an email or set up a time to meet with me. Hop into those Wednesday meets if you're confused about this. Good work. Crush that homework.